डियर स्टूडेंट्स क्लास 10th अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज मैं आपका जो टॉपिक है वो आपका पेपर है डिटेंशन का। हमने जो पार्ट 2 बनाया था उसमें आपका सिलेबस है यूनिट 6, 7, 8, 9 एंड 10। इंग्लिश की बुक के आपके क्लास 10th के 6, 7, 8, 9 एंड 10। इसमें पेयर ऑफ वर्ड्स, फ्रेजेस, एसेज एंड ट्रांसलेशन। आई स्टार्ट विद सेक्शन ए नाउ। चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। द टोन ऑफ द पोएम इन स्पाइट ऑफ वॉर इज ऑप्टिमिस्टिक, पेसिमिस्टिक, एस्कैटिक, ग्लूमी। आपका सही ऑप्शन है ऑप्टिमिस्टिक। ऑब्जेक्टिव नंबर 2, डैश इज अ टॉल राउंडेड वाज विद अ स्टर्न बेस। इसमें ऑप्शंस हैं ट्रिपिंग, बोल, अर्न, पैन। करेक्ट ऑप्शन है आपका द वर्ड अर्न। फिर है रैथ। रैथ मीन्स एक्सट्रीम हैप्पीनेस, एक्सट्रीम एंगर, प्लेजर, सैडनेस। इसका करेक्ट ऑप्शन है एक्सट्रीम एंगर। शिनानो वॉज गवर्न बाय अ डैश लीडर। ऑप्शन हैं क्रूअल, डेस्पोटिक, स्ट्रॉन्ग, बारबेरस। करेक्ट ऑप्शन है डेस्पोटिक रीडर। The ruler sent out a cruel rumor, news, proclamation, none. The ruler sent out a cruel. Option C, proclamation. Dash is the authority to do something. Legend, mediate, stooping, mandate. Correct option is the word mandate. Number 7, summit means hasten, to make dry a room, highest point. Summit means highest point. Anti means star, against, water, life. Anti means against. Adverb of hard is hardly, hardful, harder, hardest. अब अगर कंपैरेटिव डिग्री में आएंगे तो हार्डर और हार्डेस्ट है, लेकिन सिंपली आएंगे तो हार्डली। लेडी अब्दुल्ला हारून बिलोंग टू सिंध। करेक्ट ऑप्शन है सिंध। द इंटरनेशनल हेरल्ड ट्रिब्यून फोरम वॉज हेल्ड इन। करेक्ट ऑप्शन है डी, सितंबर 1946। डैश मीन्स रिब्यूक, ये आपका है chastise. The word equipment is used by the poet as a metaphor. Edgar Allan became known as the people's poet. The 5 eastern rivers meet at Panjanath. ये आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हो गए। अब इसका सेक्शन बी स्टार्ट करते हैं। अटेम्प्ट एनी 6 पार्ट्स आउट ऑफ द फॉलोइंग, ईच पार्ट कैरीज इक्वल मार्क्स। मेरा सजेशन ये है, गो थ्रू दीज क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, सारे करें आप तैयार। आपकी ऑलमोस्ट तैयारी इस सेक्शन की हो जाती है। व्हाट आर द थिंग्स दैट थ्राइव डिस्पाइट द रेवेजेस ऑफ वॉर। अब ये आपकी पोएम इन स्पाइट ऑफ वॉर से आया हुआ है और इसमें आपने बताना यह है कि रेवेजेस ऑफ वॉर यानी जो जंग के नुकसानात हैं, जितने भी जंग की तबाहियाँ हैं, उसके बावजूद भी क्या चीज़ें ग्रो करती हैं। सूरज रोज़ निकलता है, आसमान उसी तरह नीला रहता है, हवा चलती है, पौधे उसी तरह से ग्रो करते हैं। तो यू हैव टू राइट ऑल दिस in English properly, in a proper grammatical form. You don't have to make mistakes. Second is, what is the theme of the poem in spite of war? The theme of the poem in spite of war is that life goes on, even if there are a million hardships, life still goes on, and every day the sun rises and new beginnings are attained. Question 3, why did the son hide his mother in the closet? The son hid his mother in the closet because he did not go, or he did not abide by the proclamation of the despotic leader. Instead, he found out that letting his mother live was something that he owed to his own mother, and he did not have to follow every order of the despotic leader. Question 4, what is the setting of the story The Aged Mother? The setting of the story The Aged Mother is in a small town by the name of Shinano. It is a village. It is it's not a big place, and the ruler is getting away with all his despotic proclamations. Why did the leader issue the proclamation? The despotic leader of Shinano, issued the proclamation because he was scared of old age. He thought that old age is something that stops you, that brings a break in success, and he thought that old people were only a burden. Question 6, how did Begum Fatma, the principal of Jinnah Islamia College, mobilize female students? This we have to write from the book because it is about history. She mobilized the female students by giving them exposure, helping them out, supporting them. Question 7, write down the rhyme scheme of the poem Equipment. Now, when you go through the poem Equipment, I'll give it to you over here. We have a stanza here. Figure it out for yourself, my lad. You all that the greatest of men have had. Now, lad and had are both rhyming words. So, A, 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. Now, B, because eyes and wise are rhyming words. With this equipment, they all began. So, start for the top and say, I can. began and can, CC. AA, BB, CC is the rhyme scheme of the poem Equipment. What is the theme of the poem Equipment? The theme of the poem Equipment is that all human beings have been blessed by God with everything that a person requires to become successful. What are they? Eyes, ears, nose, hands, arms, legs, a brain to think. So there is nothing stopping us. It is just our attitude. What is the importance of building national reservoirs? The importance of building national reservoirs is that if we don't have reservoirs, then floods take place and the water spreads in cities. If we have reservoirs, we can store water for further use during drought or during the time that it doesn't rain, and the water can be properly channelized and used. Question 10. What are the main causes of water shortage in Pakistan? The main causes of water shortage in Pakistan is lack of reservoirs, number one. Number two, in certain places there is rainfall is very less, and if we have reservoirs, we can store and use the water and properly channelize our canals, and the cities can also get proper water. Question 8. What are the main sources of water in Pakistan? The main sources of water in Pakistan are rivers, rainfall, glaciers. These have all been chalked out in your lesson. Moving on to question 3. Paraphrase any one stanza of the following. Now, the first stanza has been taken from the poem In Spite of War. Second stanza is from the poem Equipment. In spite of war, in spite of hate, lilacs are blooming at my gate. Now, here the poet is telling us that even if there is war and there is hatred all around, flowers are blooming at my gate and everywhere in the world. Tulips are tripping down the path. Tulips are still tripping down the path, and so many. In spite of war, in spite of wrath, in spite of all the hatred in the world, still the sun shines high in the sky is blue, rivers are running, flowers are blooming, and life goes on. Second stanza, figure it out for yourself, my lad. Here the poet is talking to his son. Figure it out, find it out for yourself, my son. You've all that the greatest of men have had. You have all things, all the equipment, all the blessings of God, which all the successful men have had. 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes. This is the equipment that a human needs to succeed, and a brain to use. If you would be wise, if you are intelligent, you will use the brain that God has given you. With this equipment, they all began. All successful people began with only this equipment. So start for the top, start for the success, and say I can, and never lose hope. Now read the stanza carefully and answer the questions given at the end. You can triumph and come to skill. You can be great if only you will. You are well equipped for what fight you choose. You have legs and arms and a brain to use. And the man who has risen great deeds to do began his life with no more than you. How can greatness be achieved? Greatness can be achieved by hard work and never giving up. A hopeful person achieves whatever he dreams of. What is the person? Why is a person blessed with all the equipment? Because God has blessed all of us with the same things: eyes, ears, nose, and He has not given us less from the others. What are the basic equipments? The basic equipments we have are eyes, nose, all the senses, legs, arms, and a brain to use. How does a great man begin his life? He begins his life with all the things that we have. It's only his attitude which is positive. Write the name of the poet and the poem. The poem is Equipment, and I think it's Edgar Allan Poe, but maybe I'm wrong, but I'll still check it out. Next is read the passage carefully and answer the questions given at the end. The population of Pakistan is increasing at the rate of 3.2%. Presently, we have to feed more than 200 million people, and if the rate of increase in population remains the same, then it will be almost double by the year 2025, leading to add on the underground water resources. Factors such as global warming and climate change will further aggravate the problem of the water scarcity. At what rate is the population of Pakistan increasing? The population of Pakistan is increasing at the rate of 3.2%. How many people do we have to feed at the moment? Presently, we have to feed more than 200 people. What effect will the increase in population have on the water resources? The water resources will become less as the reserves are less than the requirement. Name the other problems which will further aggravate the problem of water scarcity. These are global warming and climate change. What do you think should be done to save water? We must build reservoirs, and we must stop wasting water also. Turning on to the next part of our paper, which is question 6. Use any 2 pairs of words in your own sentences. Access, excess. Access is an opening. Access is something that is in large amount. The access to the cinema was not very clear. Excess of everything is bad. Caste. Now there are two meanings of this caste. One is the family, and the other is if you have a broken arm, your arm is plastered with a cast. Cost is the price. Floor, ज़मीन की बात हो रही है. Flour, आटा. Pale, रंग. Your complexion can be pale if you are not well. Pale is, here is a bucket. Use any two phrases in your own sentences. Run over, the cat was run over by a car. Fond of, I am very fond of my brother. Stand by, we must stand by our nation. Get into, please don't get into fights in Ramzan. Section C, write an essay of 200 words on any one of the following: a visit to a hill station, the role and importance of media, terrorism, my greatest wish. These are 4 essays which you can easily do. A visit to a hill station, we've often done it. Role and importance of media. Now in class 9th, you had a complete chapter of media. You can write about that. Terrorism, something that Pakistan is facing, and all of us are well aware of it. My greatest wish is something that you want to do. So you can easily write about all 4 topics. Translate the following into Urdu. The trembling mother's voice, full of unselfish love, delivered her last injunction. Let not thine eyes be blind, my son. She said, the mountain road is full of dangers. पहाड़ का पूरा रास्ता खतरों से भरा हुआ है. Look carefully, ध्यान से देखो, and follow the path, और रास्ते के पर चलो, which holds the piles of twigs, जहाँ पर लकड़ी के टुकड़े पड़े के ढेर पड़े हैं. They will guide you, वो तुम्हें राह दिखाएंगे. To the familiar path, further down, जिस रास्ते से तुम वाकिफ हो वहाँ तक. The son surprised and looked back to the path and then to the hands of the poor lady. बेटे ने हैरान होकर पहले तो रास्ते को देखा, फिर अपनी माँ के हाथों को देखा. नेक्स्ट है, देयर हैज़ बीन नो टर्निंग बैक फॉर द विमेन ऑफ पाकिस्तान. फिर पाकिस्तान की औरतों के लिए वापसी का कोई रास्ता नहीं था, या उन्होंने वापस के रास्ते को देखा ही नहीं. पाकिस्तान इज़ अ लैंड गिफ्टेड विद लैविश रिसोर्सेज ऑफ वाटर. पाकिस्तान एक ऐसी ज़रज़मीन है जिसे लैविश रिसोर्सेज, बहुत बड़े बड़े रिसोर्सेज होंगे, ज़खायर से नवाजा, पानी के ज़खायर से नवाजा हुआ है. इट इज़ सेड दैट वॉर्स ऑफ द 21st सेंचुरी विल बी फॉट फॉर वाटर. कहा जाता है कि 21वीं सदी की जंगें पानी के लिए लड़ी जाएंगी. नो नेशन कैन मेक प्रोग्रेस. कोई भी कौम तरक्की नहीं कर सकती विदाउट द कॉपरेशन ऑफ इट्स वुमेन. अपनी औरतों की साथ के बगैर, ताउन के बगैर. ट्रांसलेट एनी 6 ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सेंटेंसेस इनटू इंग्लिश. अच्छे लोग झूठ नहीं बोलते. गुड पीपल नेवर लाई. सुई में धागा डालो. थ्रेड द नीडल. 2 और 2 4 होते हैं. 2 and 2 मेक 4. जलसे की ज़रूरत कौन करेगा? हु विल प्रिजाइड ओवर द गैदरिंग और द असेंबली. उर्दू हमारी कौमी ज़बान है. उर्दू इज़ आर नेशनल लैंग्वेज. मरी एक सेहत अफ़ज़ा मुकाम है. मरी इज़ अ हेल्थ रिजॉर्ट. मिलावट गुनाह है. एडल्ट्रेशन इज़ अ सिन. वो बाल बचा. ही वॉज बेयरली सेव्ड. हिम्मत मर्दा, मदद खुदा. गॉड हेल्प्स दोज हु हेल्प देमसेल्व्स. आम की आम, गुठलियों के दाम इज़ have the fruit and sell the seeds as bargain. Write a dialogue between a teacher and a student about the energy crisis in Pakistan. You can do this if you want to, but this is the better option. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was helpful. Please go through these question answers. Look at the question answers again. Go through your book. These are the ones that are probably going to be part of your paper. So please go through it. Hear it again and again so that you get a good revision of these 5 chapters. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe our channel, and thank you so much.